I didn't believe it, not until that night at the lake. It started as a way to unwind. Just me, Mark, and Lisa, blowing off steam after a brutal week at the office. We packed some beers, grabbed our rods, and drove out to that secluded spot Mark wouldn't shut up about. Supposedly, the base were huge. Monsters, he called them. If only we'd known how right he was. The drive was all jokes and easy laughter, headlights cutting through the dusk. By the time we reached the lake, the last sliver of sun had sunk below the trees, leaving the sky bruised and swollen with stars. The water stretched out in front of us, black and still, so still it felt wrong. But we shook it off, set up our gear, and cast our lines into the waiting dark. At first, it was everything we wanted: cold beer, bad jokes, the occasional splash breaking the quiet. But then the night shifted, the air thickened, the usual sounds of the forest dulling into an unnatural hush. The breeze died, the trees stood to still. Then Mark cursed, yanking at his rod. Something had taken his bait, something big. He struggled, veins bulging in his arms. But when he finally reeled in the line, his hook was bare, bent at an unnatural angle. That's when the mist rose. Not normal fog, not the kind that drifts lazily across the surface in the early hours of morning. This was different. It curled with purpose, creeping toward us like it had eyes. Lisa barely had time to react before something yanked her line so hard she nearly went overboard. She screamed, dropping her rod as the line snapped with a sound like a gunshot. Then came the moan, low, guttural, rising from beneath the water, vibrating in my bones. We shined our flashlights at the lake. The mist swirled, parting just enough to reveal movement beneath the surface shapes. Shifting shadows that weren't fish, weren't human, but something in between. Tom whispered, "We need to leave." We didn't argue. We ran. Packing was a blur of trembling hands and pounding hearts. The car felt miles away. When we finally made it, we threw ourselves inside, doors slamming, locks clicking. Mark fumbled with the keys, cursing, turning the ignition over and over, but the engine wouldn't catch. And then, through the mist, the figures rose. Water sloughed off their bodies in thick sheets, revealing slick, pale skin stretched to tight over elongated limbs, eyes like empty lanterns, glowing with something hungry, something aware. The car finally roared to life. Mark floored it, tires skidding over damp earth as we tore away from that place. I didn't look back. I didn't have to, because I know they saw us. And I know they remember.